My head's cut off.
Can you zoom out anymore? This is my first video. Oh, I keep forgetting it's recording. Like, I keep forgetting like everything I do is on there.
Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Red. I hope you're having a great start to your day. And today I am here with my friend Zach.
Oh, hi, I didn't see you there. How you doing? I'm Zach. I'm Red's friend.
Yes, you are.
I'm here to talk about something with y'all today. What are we talking about today, Red?
Some of y'all who watch my videos are in college, just like me and Zach. Zach is a freshman here at UL with me.
Go Cajuns.
And I'm a senior, and we just want to give y'all some tips and tricks, if you're a freshman or even if you're like upperclassmen, on how to get through finals week. I compiled a list of 8 tips that I want y'all to know about finals, something that you can kind of feed off of and use so that your finals week will be successful, hopefully. So tip 1 is don't wait till the last minute, so don't cram. If you literally wait until the night before your final and it's a cumulative final, you're gonna have a really, really, really bad night. I would not suggest it. If finals are next week for y'all, start studying now. Don't think that you can pull it out in like a week. It's not gonna happen, especially if you have like 4 finals that you have to study for. It gets stressful and it's not gonna look good on you day of, because for me personally, I study the night before and I usually forget what I studied because I was so stressed about the test being the next day that I completely forgot everything. So don't cram at all. Don't do it. It's bad.
Yeah, if you're going to do that, which you shouldn't study more than a few hours at a time, because your brain is going to be like overwhelmed with memory, so you're not going to remember any of it anyway, so it's a waste of time.
Sometimes, you know, you have to cram the night before. I get it, I understand, but like, if you have nothing to do this week, because I know a lot of people don't give out tests before the week of finals, you know, just take some time, study, just go over your notes. Like, you don't have to hardcore study, just do something, because if you don't, like, Tip 2, no distractions. So you want to make sure that when you study, you're in a place free from electronics. I know for me, electronics are my biggest distraction when it comes to anything, whether it's finals or anything like that. Make sure you're in an area that you're not going to distract yourself. So if you have to go in the office or in your bedroom, like turn the TV off, put your phone away, put it on the airplane mode, just do something. If you have to go to Starbucks or to the library, go somewhere where you can concentrate and you're not going to be bombarded by these text messages and these TV shows and Netflix, because that is the biggest distraction for me, is Netflix. So much.
Usually whenever I study, I'll listen to music, so I have to have my phone near me. But if you do that, you can put your phone on airplane mode so you can't get any text messages. That way you can still have your phone, but you won't be distracted by things. And you can check it, but nothing's going to be there, so that helps me a lot.
Mm-hmm. And none of us like studying. I mean, like, raise your hand if you like studying. He's lying. No one likes studying unless it's something you really like to learn about. Like, then that's awesome, good for you. But if you're studying, why have distractions that are just going to make you study longer? So get it done while you can. Set an hour, study that hour, and then go and do whatever you want to do. Like, tip 3, take care of yourself. That is the most important thing. You don't want to get overstressed. You don't want to get emotional. You don't want to literally have a breakdown during finals week, because I promise you, in college, it'll probably happen maybe once, but you want to try to avoid that. Eat. Make sure you get your sleep. Please shower. Please.
Drink water.
Drink water. Take care of yourself. I understand you're in college to get an education and it's very important, but what is the point of the education if you're not healthy yourself, if that makes sense? Just make sure you're taking care of yourself, everything. Alright, number 4 is take breaks. You need to take breaks. Your mind literally cannot handle everything you're trying to study, especially if you're trying to cram. What I do is I study for about an hour. I'll take a 20 or 30 minute break, watch a TV show, eat something, you know, surf the internet, whatever I want to do, I'll just take that little time and then I'll come back to studying. If you try and cram it all at once, it's not going to turn out the way you want it. Your mind's going to forget stuff. It's just not, it just doesn't turn out well. If that's how you study, then like, and it works for you, awesome. But the majority of people, if you try and cram it and don't take your breaks like you need to, it's not going to be beneficial for you.
If I was studying, I would study for an hour and then watch an episode of American Horror Story, which is the best show on the...
Alright, tip number 5, outline. Make sure you know what you have to study before you start studying it. It's going to be really pointless for you, whether it's a cumulative test or it's just over what you most recently studied in class, if you just study everything and you don't need to know it. If the teacher tells you exactly what you need to know, or you go over notes, go through those, outline it, make sure you understand what you need to know, That way you don't have to study like a whole 5 chapters of stuff that didn't even really matter. I know I've done it plenty of times. I've studied something and it wasn't even on the test because we actually never went over it. So outline it, just make sure you know. And if you don't, ask your teacher. Just ask your professor, see if maybe they'll help you. Some professors don't, really want to let you know. Some of them are just like that. But if your teacher is willing to go over a review the day before your final or the week before, then write this stuff down. It's going to help you kind of minimize your list of what you have to study and make it go smoother.
Yeah, I always color code. That always helps me, color coding and putting things into sections. And I feel like a lot of times people try to study, they try to go back and highlight stuff, but they end up highlighting the entire page. So it's good to also know what is too much and know how to pick out good information from bad information, and just knowing what's important. I think it's good.
Tip number 6, take advantage of the resources you have on campus. A lot of campuses now offer tutoring centers or study groups. Take advantage of that, especially if you're having trouble in a certain subject. Like for me, math and accounting are 2 of the worst subjects I've ever taken in my life. And I would not have been able to get through it if I didn't have tutors and I didn't have a study group to help me. Make sure you plug yourself into those, especially even before the semester. When you start the semester, plug yourself in right there if you're already having trouble. Don't really wait till finals, but if it's coming to the point where there's something you don't understand now within the semester, take advantage of that. Go to your tutoring, go to your study groups. Find people in your class who want to study with you on the side if it's not, a distraction and that's how you can study. Take advantage of those resources. That's going to be what's going to help you on your finals, really, especially if you don't understand something. These people are hired because they understand it. They know it, the back of their hand, so why not use it? You already paid for it in your tuition.
Right.
Well, the majority of y'all have, I hope. I know UL. I speak for UL. We've already paid for it, so why not just use it?
It is 2016. There are laptops and computers, and everybody has access to the internet. There's no excuse to not go online. And because my economics teacher, I cannot. Our minds just do not sync. I do not. He says things and goes one ear and out the other. So sometimes I have to go online and hear it from another person's perspective to just really get it to click in my mind. So I know you have a phone. If you're watching this, obviously you have a computer. So that sounds so rude. I'm sorry, but obviously you have internet if you're watching this video. So use the internet. There's so many videos, there's tutorials online, even if your campus doesn't have one, which I'm sure they do. So, use the internet to its full capacity because it's out there waiting for you.
Tip number 7, don't mix and match your subjects. So if you're studying math, don't right after you study math switch over to science. It's going to get confusing, you're not going to understand it, everything's going to become one big mess in your mind. And you don't want that, because if you're going into this final, especially within the next day, and your science final is not for another 3 days, you don't want to get mixed up. So that comes back to my other tip of taking breaks. Study something. If you know you need to study something else, take a break before you move on to that. I understand time is precious and you want to get it done. I completely get that. But what's the point of getting it done if in the end you're not even going to remember or understand it?
Yeah, different parts of your brain are meant for different things. So spending 2 hours using one part of your brain and switching to another, it's not very efficient. It's gonna be more detrimental to yourself than beneficial. Big words.
And I'm not a scientist, I'm not super brilliant, but your mind is just like if you're going to exercise. You can't just straight up go into exercise. You have to warm it up. So
yeah, to prime yourself.
Yeah. So you gotta just take your time. You can't just all of a sudden just straight up study it. You have to slowly work your way into it. And I know that sounds really weird, but it's actually very true. And it does help if you kind of just wean yourself into it slowly at a time instead of just bam, know this, switch to another subject, know this. You're not gonna remember it. Tip number 8, which kind of goes back to my other tip of taking care of yourself, sleep. You need sleep. And I can promise you, hey, we're in the middle of a video.
Oh.
Like I said, you need sleep. So what I've always done is I always study, and then right after I study, I take maybe 5-10 minutes, get ready for bed, and then go to sleep. For me, when I study, as soon as I go to sleep, everything kind of just somehow seeps into my brain, and then I wake up the next day, and I still have to review it, but I know it better than I would have known it the night before. But sleep isn't only good for if you're studying and then want to try and remember it. You need sleep to make sure you function right, to make sure your brain is at 110% so you can pass these finals. College students, we love our sleep, and sadly we don't get enough of it. But the less sleep you get, the more cranky you're going to be, and it's just not going to be a pleasant final for you, or final week at that matter. Because after you take that final, guess what you have to do? Study for the next one. So if you're already out on sleep, that's just gonna make it worse, because even though studying isn't physical, it still takes a lot of energy out of your body, and if you don't have the sleep to help that energy and flow and study, then it's gonna be kind of all for nothing. So just make sure you get your sleep. Tip number 9, our last tip, be confident. Yeah, be confident in yourself. You got this. If you studied, don't start worrying if you studied enough or if you didn't study enough. Be confident in yourself and go into that final ready to kick butt. Like, just know that you are trying your best. The more, you look down on yourself before the final, it's just gonna affect the way you do on the final. You need to go in being confident, and I know it's so hard with some subjects because, like, this may be the thing that makes or breaks you. You may pass the class or not. College wasn't meant to be easy. It's supposed to be hard. Just know if you have to take it again, just try your hardest next time. Actually, like, apply yourself a little more, do this, or do something different. Don't look down on yourself ever. College is not the easiest thing to be done, but you're lucky enough to go to college and to take advantage of this situation. So don't look down on yourself, be confident, and rock it.
Yeah, it's all a mental thing. I mean, also something really important is to not compare yourself to others, because there's always like that person in your class, maybe your friend is way better at it than you, and you're like, well, I mean, I can't, they're probably gonna do great, but I'm not. It doesn't matter what they get. If they get 100, then whatever, but your grade is what matters, so don't compare yourself to them. It's just wasting your energy. You're just building yourself down, or dragging yourself down, so just focus on yourself, ignore everybody else, and then after that you can gloat if you got a bad grade, or a good grade. You can gloat if you got a good grade, and if you got a bad grade, then, work harder.
So that is the daddy. So those are the 9 tips that we have for y'all. I hope that some of them are going to help you throughout finals week. If you have tips of your own, please leave them in the comments below to help others, or even really help me. I do look at all your comments, and it kind of helps me know how to study and different things like that. Thank you, Zach.
Hey!
For being on my video. This is practically one of my best friends, and so for him to be in one of my videos, it was awesome. We were so excited he was here. And I'll put his social media in the description box below if you want to follow him. He's really awesome. He's really funny. And it's just like, he'll make your day if you're having a bad day. You can just go look him up on Snapchat. It's really funny. But thank you so much for tuning in and watching my videos. I really can't thank y'all enough for how supportive y'all have been starting my YouTube channel. It's been really awesome, and I can only hope for great things from here on out. And I guess that's really it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate it so much. And I can't wait for y'all to see my next video coming out. Bye, guys.
Hasta la fuego. That's something, I think that's fire. I think I said it wrong.
Good job.
Hasta luego.
It's luego.
Hasta luego. Oh, so a really good tip, from the moment you get your test, before you do anything, before you even write your name down, the first thing you should do is say, Croatoan! And that test will disappear, all your problems, your acne will go away, your GPA will go up, you'll be good. So, thanks for listening. See you next time.